am Group 6, and today we are very happy to be here to present about the topic a macroprudential approach to financial regulation. So our presentation comprise 4 parts. Five parts. So I will start right now with the overview about the micro and macroprudential regulation. Firstly, about macroprudential policy, its objective is reduce the likelihood of failure of individual institutions, which is regardless of their impact on the economy. In other words, it limits idiosyncratic risks. It examines the response of individual banks to exogenous risks, but it does not incorporate endogenous risks. It largely ignores the systemic importance of individual institutions in terms of its size, complexity, extent of leverage, and interconnectedness with the rest of financial system. Overall, the macroprudential policies protect consumers, which is investor and depositor who have a claim on financial institutions. Next, about the macroprudential policies, it helps limit the cost to economy arising from financial distress, which is the failure of one or major part of financial system. In other words, it helps limit the systemic risks. Risks in macroprudential policy is assumed to be endogenous with respect to the behavior of the financial system. This is because financial institutions can collectively determine the price of financial assets, the volume of transactions, and hence the strength of the economy itself. So overall, macroprudential policies help avoid output loss or reduce negative externality from financial system failure. Macroprudential policies have many instruments, and I will show you some of these. We have Basel III banks capital requirement to compensate the unexpected loss. Counter-cyclical capital requirement helps avoid excessive balance sheet shrinkage from banks in trouble, and liquidity cover ratio or liquidity risk chart that penalize short-term funding to prevent the accumulation of excessive short-term debt. So that's about the overview of macroprudential policy. The next part will be presented by Yến.
I will present about the reason of financial crisis from regulation of shadow banking system. First, relate to the shadow banking system. From raising capital will have increased credit. When the market for the security opens bank and asset management can buy or sell the assets, its market price is then used to market asset values on banks. And asset manager balances, they can trigger further rounds of portfolio adjustment, both in the interbank lending market and in the security market. As banks need to adjust the balances to meet the regulation requirement. Asset manager and they face redemption due to drops in the security price. Finally, even after clients selling the asset, banks default when they are not able to meet either the interbank obligation or the regulation requirements. When the initial blockade spread the bank and on its balances, it will start a chain of withdrawal which can lead to a fire sale if either the shock is absorbed by the system or if it happens that banks next decide higher market price in credit crunch will higher haircut in credit period. With the world's financial system seemingly under threat this week, for the economic model have diagnosed a cause of the crisis and prescribe a possible solution. The cause, it seems, a haircut was triggered for the amount subtract from the market value of an asset such as a government bond that is used as security when a bank borrows cash from another bank. During both times, haircuts range from 1 to 10%, making it easy for bankers to borrow. Having a cheap and plentiful source of ready cash tempt bankers to gamble it on risky and potentially toxic investment, as happened in the run up to the crash in 2008. But in recession, haircuts zoom up as high as 100%. As bank rate in the asset, we can paralyze the financial system through a cash flow drop. Some researchers show that the haircut problem has become more acute and the banking system more fragile since the global banking system became concentrated in a few large banks through massive takeover over the past decade. The increasing complexity of haircut and other transactions include alternate occurring deals has made matters worse, leading to haircut contagions spreading rapidly throughout the system. Let's hear from
now I will tell you about the solution of Hanson. As you see, the Basel III slow phase in from 2013 until 2019 to meet the capital requirements, and it's compression in time frame of corporate capital requirement. However, in the reality, it's not reflect the real situation of crisis. Bank forced to satisfy the liabilities obligation in very short term. So Basel III didn't give bank in tightened credit in scale of crisis. So Hanson offer you stress test like US as the US conducted in 2009. 2-year interest scenario. I will show you the solution too. It's in political challenge in implement of counter-cycle buffer in Basel III. It is difficult to define when the credit is growth exceeds. So I have the table. and I will show you what is counter cycle. The purpose of counter cycle buffer is to achieve the broadest macro prudential goal, protecting the banking sector in period of excess agri credit growth. And Hansen and EZK Hansen propose organizing large council to assess the current regulation. For example, Hansen want to on the Finance Stability Oversight Committee and the Open System Risk Process. Next, Vân Anh will continue.
Now I will compare and contrast about Hansen article and our material we have learned in this module. First, both of them refer about the difference between macro-prudential and micro-prudential regulation. Firstly, according to macro-prudential regulation, when the bank improve the capital ratio, they will have two methods. The first is asset shrinking, and the second is raise the new capital. It's based on the formula of capital ratio. And in the asset shrinking, it will lead to two effects. First is cut back in the lending, or they can fire sell the asset. However, for example, when they cut back the lending, the credit will be more stressful because the requirement on capital is higher. They have moved the market share from the weaker to the stronger situation. However, if all company is in the difficult time, the price sell the asset at the same time will lead to the credit crunch, and therefore the macro-prudential is support. Banks should raise the new capital instead of sell the asset, because it can have strong impact on the whole system. The Hansen has improved about the relationship between financial and credit crunch. Then when the bank is sell their asset, the price of security will reduce sharply, and it impact on the rate of return of speculative investor, and therefore the credit supply will be stricter, and it will lead to it will raise the high probability of debt default, and it will lead to the credit crunch effect. Next, the second similar in the Hansen article and the module material is they both have some similar criticism on the Basel III. The first is capital requirement is not be high enough to prevent the widespread failure during the term, and the risk-weighted assessment and net stable funding ratio is a poor indicator of underlying risk. And the counter-cycle capital buffer will raise the political challenging for the regulator to define when the credit is accessible. And lastly, the shadow banking system is not prevent fully. And Hansen has improved. Hansen has improved one more criticism on the Basel III. There is low pay-in of Basel III. While the Basel III other banks prepare the capital to meet the requirement in a quite long time from 2013 to 2019. However, in the credit crunch, the bank has to meet the liability obligation in a very short time. For example, the bank run when all people withdraw the money, withdraw the deposit in the bank at the same time. Therefore, it's forced to repair enough capital to conduct this situation. Therefore, the Hansen has offered the trade debt like the case of US in 2009. And they have found that 10 out of 90 large banks in US have failed to meet the capital requirement. And next will be present.
Thank you very much for introducing me. So now I will present about the trends of this essay. The first one is that this essay has mentioned the main idea clearly. For example, they mentioned in the aftermath of the crisis, there seems to be agreement among both academics and policy makers that financial regulation needs to move in a macro-prudential direction, as well as they argue that to safeguard the system as a whole, attention must be placed to not tilting the playing field in a way that generates and lasting unintended consequence. And in the final part, they conclude that a good idea that to establish regulatory minimum haircut requirement on asset-backed securities. The next trend is clearly structural. The first one is the theory of financial regulation. They put the definition of this regulation in order to make the people more understand about this issue before the main idea, such as the macro-prudential tools or the cost of higher capital requirement. And they conclude with a financial reform report card. They compare their proposal to other regulations. And the next trend is they use example in reality for its definition or issue. For example, for the shadow banking in 2007 global financial crisis, as you can see from the chart right here, before the crisis, the market for traditional asset-backed security only averaged between 50 or 70 billion of new issue per quarter in the years. But after 2008, it means the global financial crisis, following the collapse of Lehman Brothers. This issue fell to just over $2 billion. And this disappearance of these markets represented a major contraction in the supply of credit to the consumers. And the last trend for this essay we will mention here is this essay shows the weaknesses of Basel III. For example, for the counter-cyclical buffer, this will make a challenge for regulators to identify the asset credit growth for the requirement to kick in, or other elements such as the concept of a net stable funding ratio test is not completed. Only until 2019 is will complete. Or the most
weak cost of financial reform is the shadow banking. They do not mention any strictly regulated person to control the shadow banking activities. And this and my part, the next part is about the weaknesses as well as the improvement of how to improve this essay, and Thắng will present about it.
As you can see, Will has present the strength of the essay. So, despite of the clear structure and strength of the essay, I will have to show the weakness of this essay. There should be more in the micro potential part of the essay. There should be more specific example on the real case and conclude why macro potential is not efficiency. So we have to use macro. So in the what are the costs of higher capital requirement? They only based on one opinion of one author about this. So clearly, it's not show the many ones respect for this macro potential objects. Next is the essay doesn't mention Frank dot and the Basel process. The failure to fully come with the shadow banking system. Macro potential is born to control unregulated problems. So Basel is one of it, and Frank dot is included in the system. So it should mention that in part 2. And the essay hasn't answered the biggest question: how much to apply to the financial system? The improvement I will make for this is more example and specific data, detail more how macro potential will have a role and how much should it be applied, and it would raise more essential problem of financial and unrelated issue problems and how to fix this. Next part will be Linh.
Thank you for introducing me. I will represent the difference and the familiar of macro prudential policy in this paper compared to other literature. First of all, about the similarity, most of the macro prudential to discuss the pertain to the regulation of bank capital because the large share of short-term debt in bank liability has been identified as a major source of bank vulnerable. As we can see here, there are some other literature you have the same aspect that same perspective as Han SO. However, Han SO had proved that there are some downside of macro-prudential policy to regulate finance, like they will might curb the economic growth or even make the crisis worse. In the same opinion of Hanson, there are some other literature reviews such as Crockett and Woodhart. However, Hanson once said that the impact on cost of loan, like the impact of macro-prudential policy on cost of loan likely to be quite small, and in the end they need to increase the capital requirement. However, unlike Hanson, also one says that increasing 13 to 100% of equity capital based on the Basel III would restrict bank lending and thus increasing the actual completing cost. The increase in capital cost reduce shareholder equity and again increasing cost of equity. Thus, he suggests that the the macro-prudential policy may have a certain effect on the economic growth. Next, the strong also claim in the essay that increasing bank regulation directly affect the real economic activity, including small and mid-sized business that are high banking intensity and slow down the low-income consumption. This is the end of my presentation. Next is Ngọc.
Thanks to our friends, we know about the article. The world has witnessed a global crisis since 2008, and since then there's been thousands article has been created to talk about our hot topic, and for the article Hansen, we know that we know about the macro and macro-prudential policy, and we all know have an overview about the macro-prudential tools and so on. However, it was created in 2010 and now 2018, and nearly the time of Basel III. So I believe that maybe we will have more valuable article to support about the macro-prudential to improve the importance of this event. And this is also an important topic on our exam, so there are some exam questions. There are some exam question example first. For example, the macro-prudential approach, like with the definition, key features, and implications. The second one is compare macro-prudential and micro-prudential policies. And the last one, maybe what are the weaknesses of macro-prudential regulation and how to solve its problem. So thanks for watching, and we hope to have more questions from you guys. Thank you for listening again.
Okay, so now is time for you to give them questions and comments. As I see, not too many students are here today. A majority of students are absent. So where are they? In their hometown, I guess. Okay, so give them questions. Chúng ta đặt câu hỏi đi, mà sao hôm nay vắng nhiều thế? Đâu hết rồi? Tôi cũng vắng thế. Chắc kiểu như là hôm qua là nghỉ số tổ. Đó, chắc gì nó lên, có khi nó nghỉ cả thứ 5, thứ 6, cũng nghỉ tiếp thứ 7, chủ nhật 2, 3 luôn. Trời. Ok, các bạn đặt câu hỏi cho nhóm đi.
Good, please.
Đúng rồi, cũng được, bạn chỉ định.
Because I think that you have some questions there. Please. Is there anything in our presentation that you want to listen again? It's kind of a question.
Because this topic will
Yeah, that's right.
So you already study financial regulation?
Yes.
When?
The part is yet for us.
Oh, okay. So you should be familiar with this topic.
Maybe
Okay, so what about the comments? If you don't have questions, then you can give them comments. Anything you think that...
Firstly, in the slides, I think it's too much work show in slide, and this won't have to follow.
Yeah, I agree.
It's actually some methods, it depends on the slide too much. That is the presentation.
Thank you.
Okay, I agree with the first comment. Some parts of the slide may be too wordy, okay? And you should replace all those sentences, maybe with some diagram, okay? To make it more visual and more, easier to follow, make it easier to follow. Yeah, I agree. Okay, what about the others? What do you think about their presentation? What is good, what is not so good about their presentation? Okay, I need a man. There are two men in the audience. What do you think?
So for this question, for this comment, I have to say that because the article was born in 2010, from 8 years ago, maybe there are some in the field information they follow. So I believe that until now we have more information and more valuable article, as I said in the last part, that we can read and learning more about it to contribute our knowledge. Thank you for your comment.
Any more comments? Brother. Okay, one last comment. You. Okay, give them comments. Okay, speak louder. Tell them. is that you agree with everything already said? Yeah. Okay. Okay, I have some comments for you. Firstly, I actually thought that before you go into the details, you should explain some basic terms, like what is fire sale, what is credit crunch, or what is shadow banking. But then I heard your friend say that you already studied these things before, so I think it's acceptable now. Okay? Cho nên thì lúc đầu là tôi định đưa ra một cái comment, một cái bình luận cho các bạn ấy là gì? Trước khi mà chúng ta đi vào chi tiết thì một số những cái khái niệm cơ bản nên giải qua để tất cả mọi người đều hiểu. Chẳng hạn như là fire sale nó là cái gì, hay là credit crunch nó là cái gì, hay là shadow banking nó là cái gì. Tại vì các những cái khái niệm cơ bản đấy thì nó xuất phát từ quá khứ. Tuy nhiên thì sau đấy là các bạn đều nói là cái này thì thực ra là lúc mình đã học rồi. Thế cho nên những cái khái niệm đấy thì có thể xem như là các bạn đều đã biết từ trước. Thế cho nên cái việc là các bạn là lướt qua phần đó là ok, có thể chấp nhận được. Nhưng nếu như mình thuyết trình với một đối tượng mà người ta chưa biết về cái vấn đề này nhá, thì lưu ý trước nhất là mình phải giải thích cho họ những cái khái niệm rất là cơ bản để người đã nhá, ok. Còn cái ý thứ hai thì bạn kia bạn ấy cũng đã nói rồi, đấy là đôi để mà người ta dễ theo dõi thì đôi khi là mình bớt từ bớt lại dòng một tí, mình có thay nó bằng một cái sơ đồ chẳng hạn, đấy, để thể hiện cái mối quan hệ tương xứng giữa các yếu tố cái này dẫn cái kia, đấy, ok, thì người ta sẽ dễ hiểu hơn, sau đó thì nó hơn hơn. Còn lại về các bạn thì nói chung các vấn đề các bạn sẽ rất là rõ ràng, rất là logic, rất là kết cấu, ok, đó. Okay, so thank you, group number 6. And as I know, this is the last group presentation, isn't it?